We're going to have a little recap, look at the race and see what was going on throughout. Good drag off the line for most of the riders. It was Binder, though, that looked like he was going to get the whole shot, and Stephen Odendaal was right there with him. Some of the key players to watch out for here were Kershaw, though. He was just tagging the back wheel of a few riders and trying to get himself up there. Cameron Peterson was loosey-goosey in the early stages as he tried to make the link across to the top 4 riders. Binder was right there, and Odendaal had the better of him under brakes, but it was mid-corner and entry speed that the Suzuki was best at, and that's why we saw him lead through the complex, along with Matty Scholz and current championship points leader from last season anyway, championship points leader from this year being Odendaal. The top 4 started to break away down the straight, and we saw the classic maneuvers. But this is the moment of the race where Cam Peterson grabbed a little bit too much throttle and got flicked all the way over the high side. He was covering a line that Matty Scholz was trying to cut him off from, and that blew a 4-way split into a 3-way split. Then the race started chopping and changing. Matty Scholz decided he wanted to have a crack at the front. Also, late on the brakes and hard on the gas. So 2 Kawasaki's going at it with the Suzuki. And Scholz tried to break the pack apart. All the while in the background, Kershaw was closing the gap. Then, later on in the race, the Suzuki of Binder led into the complex and tucked the front end and went off at high speed. The bike tumbling up and over the wall, riding off the bike, and any chance of Binder's hopes for an overall on the day. At the front, the race developed into a 2-horse race with current championship points leader Stephen Odendaal leading things out of Scholz. It looked like it was going to be tyre degradation that was going to decide the race, but both riders were pushing on. All the while in the background, it was a 2-horse race for 3rd. The flag came out, though, and it was Odendaal that got the big job done. Scholz not happy with that one, but he got blocked, and it was an extremely strong last lap, an intelligent last lap, that handed the victory to Odendaal. The 3rd place went to Fossey. And the real story about today was people making mistakes. This was a mistake in heat number 2. Matty Scholz rolling across the line and unfortunately getting handed out a 30-second penalty. That's where it all started from. The pocket rocket, though, getting a whole shot, and Anthony Shelley delivering on what he's able to do. We know he's great off the line, as is Nick Kershaw, and that's how it bunched up in the early stages. Dean Foss not able to get the Yamaha R6 off the line exactly how he wanted to, but he was running with the bunch early on. A massive improvement at the back of the pack as well for Michael White, getting himself up there, running in the top 5 in the early stages before the big guns started to break away. And the big guns was all about Matty Scholz, Nick Kershaw, and Odendaal. Matty Scholz fighting hard, getting himself up there, getting all kinds of physical, pushing and banging his way through to eventually go for the lead as they went into heading towards the halfway marker of the race. But the mistake was about to come, and there it was. Over the top and out the back door. Scholz pushing way too hard. He says the front end of the bike pushed out, tried to gas it to save it, and got flicked out. He would stand up, he would get back on the bike, but the race was over for him. Pushed off, and the frustration was clear from Scholz. He was looking at a possible win, definitely a clean, solid 2nd place overall in the day. Shelley was the main man in the chase group, going hammer and tongs with Blaze Baker, and they would set the track alight. Dean Foss, by this time, had got himself up to the front bunch and made light work of the battle that he had with Kershaw. Got himself rid of Kershaw and then went chasing down on Stephen Odendaal. Foss had a couple of lines and a couple of tasty tricks up his sleeve, and he just seemed to bide his time, saving it all for the last lap push. This was the moment where he just could not get the job done. He was waiting for it, and the flag was out. Tried the cutback, coming out, and once again, it was a perfect victory on the day for Odendaal. And Foss just had nothing to give to it. Tried exactly what he had to do, but he was right there. Now, the story is Odendaal letting all the other riders make the mistakes. He's got a perfect score.